Welcome to the tutorial. In this one we're going to make a classic. It's a random number generator, and what we're going to do is turn that into a dice rolling app. Let's get started. So this is what the finished app is going to look like when you install it on your iPhone. Essentially it's just a random number generator, spits out numbers between 1 and 6 in this case, and we're also going to put in some sound effects as well, just to make it a little bit more realistic. To get started then, head over to iOS.thunkable.com, create yourself a new app, and I'm calling this one Dice App. Let's get started by adding in a button, drag and drop it onto your screen, choose whatever colors you like, and we're just going to use some text to show the numbers before we move on and do any pictures. So in our blocks then, what we're going to need to do is keep track of the random number as it's changing from various different numbers between 1 and 6. To do this then, what we'll use is a variable. I'm going to call it random number, and the random number is going to be assigned a value here anywhere between 1 and 6. So we get our random integers from our math section, and we just grab out any number we want here, type in 1, duplicate that, and type in 6. All we have to do now then is change the text property on button 1 to display this random number that we've created. So the next thing we're going to do is add in our sound component and upload our sound file. Adding in sounds, pictures, anything like that is really easy in Thunkable. All you do, click on your app name and just drag and drop it here into your app's assets or your app's resources. In the properties, I'll type in the name of the file here just kind of for the sake of completeness. And the main thing to do is put in the volume property or the volume level. So I'm going to set it to 50 out of 100. Back in our code, all we have to do is add in the sound1.play. The final thing we'll do then to set up our app is set the source for sound1. That's going to be our wave file in this case. So I had a few of them like dice1 and dice2.wav, but again, just make sure that you've got the correct file extension there. The final little thing that we want to do in our app is add in a timer. So this will allow us to generate random numbers really quickly, show them on the dice, show them on the button. For the properties, what I'm going to do is set the timer interval here to 160 milliseconds. That just depends on the length of your sound clip, and make sure that loops is set to true. And then we're going to create a variable in our app. So I've called this spin counter. It's going to keep track of, or it's going to count the number of spins that the die has done. We'll start counting at 0 or 1, doesn't really make a huge difference here. And every time our clock goes off, we are going to essentially display another random number on the button for the user. So when the user clicks the die, clicks the button, we're going to change this now to set the timer enabled to be true. And then once we've got to a certain point in our app, we're going to get the timer to stop counting. So where is that predefined point? Well, what we'll do is we'll check, has it spun 10 times? So what we'll do is we'll check, is it greater than or equal to 10? So we can just grab our value here from spin counter, pop in a 10 there, and everything should be more or less ready to go. So now what we want to do is we want to increment, or we want to increase our spin counter every time the clock ticks. This is a very standard kind of thing to do. We're going to set it to spin counter plus 1. So it'll go up 1 count or 1 spin at a time. Every time then the dice is spinning around, what we'll do is we'll change this one here, the button text, to be another random number is fine for the moment again, so we should see just a whole series of changing numbers. And so a really handy way to quickly copy and paste blocks is just to right click on them. If we scroll up here, duplicate, pop it in there, duplicate our button text and pop it in there. Once everything is finished, you can email it to yourself and install it on your phone. What will happen is Thunkable will send you an email. It's got a link or a code on it. Click on that link. It'll bring you over to their download page. And there's another button then that you have to press. So clicking that download button, ask if you want to install the app. That app then, if we go back to our home screen here, we'll see installs on our phone just like this. Now if you don't have Rapidly Incorporated or the Thunkable company set up as a trusted developer, you'll get an error message when you click on it. So if we cancel this, we can go into our settings, down to our general settings, I believe it is. Yeah, and down here then we have our device management. So there's Rapidly Incorporated. We trust them because they've given us our app, or we've made the app, I guess, with their software. And then when we go to open it up, over here, here's our Dice app. Everything works fine. So we should be able to click on this button. You can hear the sound effects playing. You can see the numbers changing. So that's everything nice and neat. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you in the next video.